I was working with a client, and I could tell as soon as we sat down together, she was holding back tears to describe what's going on in her marriage. She shared that he forgot our anniversary. And then when I brought it up to him, he said I was being dramatic. So, in those few short words, it set off this chain reaction. She shut down and he gets defensive. And just like that, they're back in the same fight they've had 100 times before with things that were nowhere near as significant as forgetting an anniversary. But the same scenario of, different day and same disappointment. She was so tired of feeling unimportant. And he was exhausted by feeling that he was always the bad guy. Neither of them knew how to stop the loop. Does that sound familiar to some of the things that you might feel in your relationship? After 18 years of working with clients, I want to share with you some of the truths that I've seen relationship after relationship. It's not just about what's being said or even what's forgotten in the moment. It's not even about what you're fighting about. Truly, it's the pattern just underneath. Maybe one of you learned that it's easier to just kind of coast in the relationship, to stay kind of in avoidance or just stay quiet. And maybe the other learned to overfunction, even over-explain, just trying to be heard about what's important to you. And so what you're living through right now in that repetitive loop, it's like the reenactment of what love used to feel like. Feeling forgotten, feeling like the bad guy, feeling like no matter what you're doing, it's never enough, feeling like your needs might be too much. So what we want to get at is that pattern so that we can finally shift out of that same loop. We want to stop from circling around it, the same argument, the same disappointment. Because once you see it, this is where you get to choose something different. Once you understand what it's connected to, then you get to respond instead of react. When you turn that moment of conflict into a potential moment of repair. And so what happened to this client? For her to be able to go back into this partnership and say, I'd like a do-over. I'd like to be able to go back and celebrate the moment we decided to connect our lives together, to live as a couple, to move through life and all of its challenges together. I don't want to just let that day pass like any other. And so to plan for that dinner out or that weekend away or however you're going to choose to celebrate it, the important movement for her was to process the hurt, or at least understand where his coasting or avoiding was coming from in his own family of origin, in the part that he played inside of their relationship. The trouble is, if we bring our hurt, our resentment into the dinner out or the celebration of the anniversary, well, this hurt is kept alive through remembering. We've got to be able to come to a place of understanding, to really set it down, to be able to move into our half of the repair, saying, okay, we really truly are going to do a do-over. We really are going to celebrate this. To be able to go back and have that repair where we're moving towards something different. And this is just some of what we do inside of the Rekindle community. The first step is understanding what the pattern is, what's been going on, what's been kind of running things from behind the scenes. Once we do that, we want to support you, even at the level of your nervous system, to choose to respond differently. Like, what's going on underneath the fight? What does it connect to for you? And how do we resolve that once and for all? So that you're able to stay present and connected even in those hard moments, even when all you want to do is shut down and run off and blame the other person. The app inside the Rekindle community is all about giving you the tools in the moment, especially when you're most likely to shut down or blame or spiral or move into avoidance. Not later, not weeks or months after the fight, but in real time. What I've noticed in the couples that I've worked with over the years, no matter the intensity of the distress, change doesn't happen when you just talk about it, when you get into your defenses or your reasonings and you just kind of circle around the issue. Real change happens when you show up differently inside of your relationship. And in order to do that, we want to understand where these painful patterns are connected to and how you can finally be free of them. Life is way too short to argue in circles and have that same repetitive argument day after day. Rekindle gives you the option to do it differently.